Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Spring 2017 Georgia Tech graduates. Students, please rise for the faculty processional.
Good morning and welcome. Would you please rise and remain standing for the posting of the colors and the singing of the national anthem, which will be sung by members of Sympathetic Vibrations.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming broad stripes and bright stars, through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Well, good morning. In addition to those students who have been preparing for military service, I would like for us to take a moment to recognize all the veterans and active service members in the audience. If you have served or are currently serving in any branch of the U.S. military, please stand and allow us to recognize you for your service. Thank you. At this time, I'm very pleased to introduce Ms. Allison Foreman, a candidate for the Bachelor of Science degree in Computational Media, who will give us the reflection.
My dearest Georgia Tech, we need to talk. It's not you, it's me. The first day I met you was magical. You gave me that lovely little yellow hat and a bag full of promotional materials I didn't need. My parents loved you instantly, almost as much as I did. I wandered your grounds, took in the hot Atlanta air, marveled at the sheer number of clubs you had for me to join. With you, I could volunteer at Atlanta Children's Hospital. I could build a solar-powered race car or even simulate the zombie apocalypse in an elaborate game of tag. Gosh, the possibilities. You told me, you're at Georgia Tech, you can do that. And slowly but surely, I began to believe it too. Since we met, everything has changed. Together, we witnessed the miracle on North Ave and became Orange Bowl champions. Together, we found water on Mars and visited every continent on Earth. Together, we got a Panda Express in the Student Center, and at least briefly, the world's smallest Walmart. Our memories together are good ones, but it's time to move on. No, you are as beautiful as the day I met you. Tech green is finally green again, and I've come to appreciate the Einstein statue I told you you would regret. The truth is, it's time for us each to grow, even if that means growing apart. You have given me more than I ever could have asked for, teaching me not only what it means to be a good student, a good leader, a good yellow jacket, but also what it means to be a good person. Our time together is the foundation on which I build my life. You will always be the place where I learned who and what truly mattered to me. You will always be my home. I've given you all I can in return, my time, my passion, my care, on some nights even my bare feet in the Campanile. But I must go on to pursue my dreams and become all that you believed I could be. And don't worry, I'm sure you'll find someone new. Oh, say, 4,000 freshmen every fall. I've seen you eyeing them with their high SAT scores and perfect GPAs. And I promise I will never forget you, not only because you are so special to me, but also because the Alumni Association will never let that happen. You know, I guess I was wrong. It's not just me, it is you. Well, it's us. We swarm together from all over the globe, from all different types of families, with all different types of dreams. We are white, we are gold, we are brave, we are bold, and for now, we are finished, even as we are just beginning. Forever yours, the class of 2017.
Wonderful. Great job. Thank you very much, Allie, and good luck to you and all your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Graduates, members of the faculty and staff, distinguished guests, families, and friends, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to the 253rd commencement exercises at the Georgia Institute of Technology. This weekend's commencement exercises recognizes our spring graduates. Today, we celebrate almost 2,200 undergraduate degree recipients, in addition to the nearly 1,300 graduate students that received their degrees last evening. As is the case for the success of our institute, seldom is it a one-person effort. As we celebrate the successful conclusion of one chapter of your lifelong education, it's important for you to acknowledge that you've not done it alone. With us today are many families, friends, and colleagues whose love and support have helped make this day possible. For some of those that are here with us today, this is not your first Georgia Tech graduation ceremony. If you are the parent of one or more proud Georgia Tech graduates through the years, or if you are a Georgia Tech alumnus, please stand and let us recognize you. In addition, with us this morning are members of the faculty who have guided and mentored these students, sharing with them their time, their wisdom, and their expertise in order to help each and every one of them reach this milestone and their fullest potential. Would the members of the faculty please stand and be recognized? Well, I could try to tell you how much the graduates appreciate all of the support and guidance you've provided. I think it will mean more coming from them.
America, so that I could get a better education. So today I am graduating from the Georgia Institute of Technology. Thank you to my friends, my family, God, my sorority, everyone. I thank you so much. I love you, Mom and Dad.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for all your support, and thank you to all Georgia Tech teachers that made my Georgia Tech experience truly amazing. And go Jackets!
Oi, mãe, pai, obrigada por tudo, vovô. Eu tô tão feliz que você tá aqui. Alex, Will, thank you so much for helping me get through these last year. We did it finally here, yes!
Mom, Dad, Amma, Appa, no matter what the words are, thank you for your eternal support. I love you guys.
Mami, papi, gracias por todo, los quiero mucho. Luisi, te amo. Woohoo, go Jackets!
Mom, I made it, man. I finally made it. I'm graduating. This is a very surreal feeling. You know, I can't thank my family and my friends enough for, you know, supporting me throughout these past 5 years, and, you know, just really making sure that I have all the resources to you know, be successful.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
And thanks, Georgia Tech student ambassadors, for letting us represent the Institute.
Go Jackets!
At this time, I'd like to introduce several members of the stage party, and I'll ask that you hold your applause as they stand when I call their names, and wait until I've finished introducing all of them before we recognize them for their contributions. Dr. Colin Potts, Vice Provost for Undergraduate Education. Very good. Mr. Barrett Carson, Vice President for Development. Dr. Archie Irvin, Vice President for Institute Diversity. Mr. Dean Sheehan, Vice President for Government and Community Relations. Mr. John Stein, Vice President of Student Life and Dean of Students. Paul Cohn, Vice Provost for Enrollment Services. Dr. Roberta Berry, Director of the Georgia Tech Honors Program. Dr. Peter Brecky, Assistant Dean of International Affairs in the Ivan Allen College. Dr. Michelle Tullier, representing the Center for Career Discovery and Development. Miss Rita Pikowski, Registrar. And Miss Isabel Altamirano, representing the library. Dean Gary May, our mace bearer, and Dr. Susan Cousins, Vice Provost for Graduate Education and Faculty Development. Dr. Cousins is celebrating her last commencement at Georgia Tech before retirement, and we thank her for her 19 years of tireless service. This is a momentous day for you as graduates and for your family and friends who are sharing in the celebration of your accomplishments. You've worked hard to earn your degree from one of the best institutions in the nation, and in many areas, one of the best in the world. Georgia Tech faculty are engaged in research collaborations in more than 100 countries. The Institute has global centers in China, Costa Rica, Panama, and Singapore. And for more than 25 years, Georgia Tech has had a campus in Lorraine, France. In that time, more than 5,800 students have spent a semester or more at Georgia Tech, Lorraine. Georgia Tech students study or intern in 70 countries, and 54% of our undergraduates participate in some sort of meaningful international study abroad or work abroad experience before they graduate. A fourth of you have participated in co-op education, and 67% have held internships. And while it's not required, over 44% of you have studied a foreign language. The most popular is Mandarin. Based on spring statistics, 90% of you have already been offered a job, and 79% have accepted. The mean starting salary for a Georgia Tech Bachelor of Science degree recipient is $68,000, and much higher in some other fields. When thinking about your accomplishments, I'm reminded that all of you were touched in one way or another by the investment of our alumni and supporters. Through scholarships, fellowships, faculty chairs, facilities, and for all of that, we are enormously grateful. At Georgia Tech, we pride ourselves on being trailblazers who drive real-world change by embracing challenges, thinking critically, and developing innovative solutions to some of the world's most pressing problems. We continue to work towards our goal of making a Georgia Tech education within the reach of every qualified Georgia resident, regardless of their family income. We're proud to say that among our graduates today are 22 G. Wayne Clough Georgia Tech Promise Program scholars. Because of the Tech Promise program, qualified Georgia Tech residents with the greatest financial need are able to earn a Georgia Tech degree and education debt-free. Through their hard work and Georgia Tech's commitment, not only will their lives be changed, but also those of their families for generations to come. Your Georgia Tech education is designed to prepare you to work collaboratively, to identify challenges and create solutions, to be a leader in business, industry, and government, and in the communities in which you will live, work, and play. Georgia Tech is in the business of creating the next idea, the next technology, the next group of innovators and entrepreneurs. We're empowering the next generation of scientists, engineers, businessmen and women, architects, and so many others, engendering in each of them the passion and skills they will need to excel and to design our future. You, each and every one, will be forever linked to this great institution, and we're looking forward to great things from each and every one of you. We're enormously fortunate this morning to have as our commencement speaker Juan Carlos Varela. At least that's how he was known when he graduated from Georgia Tech in the spring of 1985 with a degree in industrial engineering. Today, he is President Varela, the leader of his native home of Panama. Joining him today is his wife, Lorena Castillo de Varela, First Lady of Panama. Georgia Tech has been a family affair for President Varela. Two of his brothers and a cousin have also graduated from the Institute. Prior to winning political office, he helped run Varela Hermanos, a family-owned distillery and plantation that's been around for more than 100 years and employs more than 700 permanent workers in Panama. In May of 2009, Mr. Varela was elected Panama's vice president and served through July of 2014. He was elected on May 4th, 2014 for a 5-year term as Panama's president. Since he graduated, President Varela has been back several times to visit. Like a good engineer, he takes a hands-on approach. Last year, he came to Georgia Tech in support of Panama Bilingue, the country's initiative to send 10,000 Panamanian teachers abroad to develop new teaching skills in a global perspective on public and bilingual education. 40 in-service teachers were participating in the program through Georgia Tech's Language Institute, and he took the time to visit and encourage them. A couple of years ago, he was interviewed for our news site, and he said something that really struck me, and I quote, "When you graduate from Georgia Tech in industrial engineering, you may not remember all that was in the books, but the training of the mind lasts forever. The problems that people in Panama and worldwide are facing today require good minds and training to solve. An engineer's mind. Being an engineer means trying every day to improve people's lives. Engineering is a beautiful career." Now you'll have the opportunity to hear from an engineer's mind who is a global leader and a great yellow jacket. Please join me in welcoming President Juan Carlos Varela, the President of Panama.
Thank you, Dr. Peterson. Dr. Bud Peterson, President of Georgia Tech. Dr. Rafael Braz, Georgia Tech Provost. Thank you, both of you, for this great opportunity. Mrs. Lorena Castillo Varela, First Lady of the Republic of Panama, Delegation of Panama. Dr. Gary May, Mace Bearer, Dean College of Engineers. Dr. Susan Cousin, Vice Provost, Undergraduate Education. Dr. Colin Potts, Vice Provost, Undergraduate Education. Mr. Barrett Carson, Executive Vice President of Development. Dr. Archie Irving, Executive Vice President of Institute Diversity. Mr. Dean Sheehan, Executive Vice President of Government and Community Relations. Mayor John Meister, Georgia Tech ROTC Representative. Mrs. Andrea Liberty, Georgia Tech Alumni Association Chair. Professors, graduate students, special guests, and families, ladies and gentlemen, greetings. Let me first congratulate the class of 2017. First of all, let's give a big round of applause to these graduates. Don't you think they deserve it? Congratulations. And to Boss, too. It is truly a great honor for me to be back at this prestigious university 32 years after I earned my degree in industrial engineering, to share this moment and such a special day with all of you, graduates, your families, and professors. Today, I am not here to talk to you just as the President of Panama. I will speak to you as a proud Yellow Jacket. One who was trained at one of the best public universities of this great country, the land of the free and the home of the brave, the United States of America. Dear graduates, during my 4 years as a Georgia Tech student, this school shaped my life. I am pretty sure it has also shaped yours as well. You just don't realize it yet. As engineers and Georgia Tech graduates, we have been trained to solve problems, not to create them, and that is what the world needs in public and private life. Some of you may not see the textbooks that you have used here ever again, but your minds have been prepared to face all kinds of challenges. I encourage you to use the best of your knowledge to improve the quality of life of all citizens of the world, regardless of whether you choose to work for the private or public sector or for yourself. Wherever you go, the values and hard-working spirit of a Yellow Jacket will always lead you on the path to success, and there is no obstacle that cannot be defeated with the mind of an engineer and the heart of a warrior. Those long hours and sleepless nights that you spent at the library were worth it. And today, you're ready to go out and conquer the world. I know you have earned your diplomas with sacrifice. All the experience and knowledge you have gathered over the years on and off campus are priceless. They belong to you and represent one of the most valuable assets that you will have in life. Congratulations, graduates, and my best wishes to all of you. Today, Georgia Tech is giving all of you more than just a diploma. I'm convinced that the training you have concluded today will prepare you to go through life and achieve your personal and professional goals, reaching the top of the world in the fields of technology and your different areas of specialization. Inside those classrooms, you learn how to solve problems of math, calculus, chemistry, and physics, but more importantly, you were trained to find solutions and defeat any obstacle that you face in life. As an industrial engineering student, I took lessons of simulation, critical path, and quality control, and despite not having opened my textbook in more than 30 years, my mind was trained to plan the future, simulate the best alternative, verify the quality of processes, and find the best solutions. This training also helped me to set 4 priorities in life. The same diploma that you will receive today gave me the knowledge and the skills to reach the highest ranking government official position of my country. And you may rest assured that it will also enable each of you to achieve your goals wherever you go. Use your talents for good and for helping others. Don't forget that a leader's greatest challenge isn't leading, it's making others great. At the end, it's not about how far you get in life. What really matters is how much you did for humankind to make the world a better place. Work hard to be great, but work harder to be good engineers, administrators, and citizens. Be a professional of character. Character is about ethical behavior, integrity, and honesty. It is the foundation of your credibility. You have had the privilege of receiving the best education in a public institute. You now have a major obligation to give something back to your families, friends, and communities. I encourage you to apply the same knowledge and skills that you learn here to solve the problems that affect the people of the world. And for that, please allow me to give you an advice. To find the best solutions to the problems that affect people, there is a simple formula. Always put the well-being of humans at the center of everything. This will always show you the path to find the best solutions. The most important lesson that I received at this university was from my calculus professor, Dr. Michael Barnsley. Still remember him today. Even though I had an 85% average in his class, that was a B. He gave me a C grade. Because I went partying to celebrate my birthday the night before the final exam, and I failed it. When I came back winter to the student center and I got my grades from my P.O. box, I went to him and I saw that C. It was straight A's and 1 C. And I went to talk to him to his office and I challenged him. He was a calculus professor, great mathematician. I mean, 85% is a B. So I asked him, why? Because that grade should have been a B. And he told me, Mr. Varela, college and life are not about grades. They are about doing your best effort, and you will remember me forever. "36 years later, I still remember that moment. That was the only C I got in my career. Dear graduates, I've already told you the great pleasure that represents this moment for me. But I want to share with you an even greater pleasure. Today, at this ceremony, a member of this class made history, becoming Panama's first aerospace engineer from Georgia Tech. Mr. Ulises Núñez. After his first semester, he came to Panama for Christmas. And he came to my office at the Presidential Palace. He was so proud. And he showed me his grades, 4 A's and 1 B. Imagine what I told to Ulises. Life is not about grades. College is not about grades. It's about doing your best effort. What happened after that? Ulises graduates today with 3.98 straight A's after that moment as an aerospace engineer. That was his first and only B, thanks to Dr. Barnsley and President Varela and Ulises Núñez and his faculty. I feel very proud of him and of all of you graduates. You all have reached another goal in life. Today is not only a big day to celebrate, but also a day to start thinking about your legacy in life. Before I finish, let me give you one last piece of advice. Georgia Tech graduates work hard, and hard work is always recognized. I encourage you to seek hard jobs, but never forget that life is not just about work. Make time for fun, and the most important thing in life, family. Georgia Tech graduates have been linked to great projects all across the world, as they were in my country during the construction of the Panama Canal over 100 years ago. As President of Panama, I would like to avail myself of this special occasion to acknowledge an extraordinary student of Georgia Tech who did great things for the people of Panama. Former President Jimmy Carter, to whom we will be forever grateful for helping us reestablish our democracy and get back the Panama Canal to build a better future for the Panamanian people. Thank you, President Carter. After having accomplished this major academic step, I would like to encourage all of you to take the mysticism of our great university wherever you go, to do great things for your people and greater things for your country, so that you can always proudly say, like I do today, I am a yellow jacket and a hell of an engineer. May God bless you all.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your life clearly epitomizes the Georgia Tech motto of progress and service. Thank you for being here with us today. Now we come to the part all of you have been waiting for, the conferring of your degrees. The moment of walking across the stage represents the culmination of much work and achievement for each of our graduates. I'd ask that as you receive your diploma, you return to your seat and show your fellow students the same respect that they've given each of you as you cross the stage. At this time, I'm pleased to welcome to the podium Dr. Rafael Bras, Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, who will now introduce the academic deans by college and then present the candidates for the bachelor's degree. Dr. Bras.
Good morning, everybody. Great day. Congratulations. Dean Zvi Galil will present the undergraduate candidates for the degrees in the College of Computing.
Candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree in the College of Computing, please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you those sleepless candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree, including the hackers, the nerds, and the geeks, who have completed the requirements for this degree.
From the College of Computing, Joel Bryce Anderson. Callie Lanier Bivings. Maria Luisa Botelho. Thomas Cornell Bridges III. Alexa Ray Carlio. Vince Songjun Che. Connor Chance Creech. John Joseph Fiorentino. Allison Marie Foreman. Leah Kate Glazer. Lana Marie Simbillo Jose. Royce Bach Kim. En Young Hannah Lee. Caitlin Joy Leonard. Brenda Lynn. Marcellus Lavon Laurie. Caitlin Ann Morris. Mira Raji Nathan. Joanna Casey Parkhurst. Emily Elizabeth Sermons. Stephen Edward Song. Ariana Marie Waugh. Jonathan Joe White. Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Michael Douglas Adkisson. Avi Om Auaha. Reese Alexander Aitken. Darrington Phillips Altenburn Jr. Christopher Richard Altonji. Damilola Faisal Animation. Daniel Eulogio Ansher. Luca Antolich Soban. John David Arthur Jr. Milad Askarnia. Rawa Atala. Jonathan Fraser Avila. Evan James Bailey. Philip Joseph Bale III. Kevin Soon Bang. Min Sik Bang. Jeffrey Kishi Bakam. Mary Catherine Bentley. Mostafa Shakil Bouillon. Stefan Belchevik. Connor Davis Blair. Jared Connor Blanton. Robert Alexander Borowitz. Royal Jacob Broussard Jr. Brandon Kyung Brown. Charles Lane Bryant. Creston Joseph Bunch. Marvin Changchiano. Kurt Ronald Carpenter. Yuen Han Chan. Henry Jian Chen. Jesse Lao Chen. Shuyang Chen. Sangjun Chen. Wing Yi Chong. Ryan Zhang. Brandon Christopher Chim. Jessica LaRue Chin. Youngjun Choi. William Ramsey Christian. Sanghyun Chun. Casey Nicole Clark. Christopher Sutton Clegg. Thomas Andrew Coe. Michael Samuel Contino. Kenneth Robert Craig. John James Croft V. Marissa D'Souza. Christopher David Dees. Adway Dillon. Joshua Carl Diadigo. Jeremy William Dorn. Joshua M. Dotson. Branson Daniel Dupuy. Sydney Francis Durant. Lindsay Marie Idson. Benjamin Isaac Elder. Nate Wilson Gant. Oleg Edwardovich Filatov. Jacob James Finnegan. Edward Page Foyle. Alexander Maxwell Freeman. Andrew Lee Galbraith. Xavier Sharif Galloway. Chang Han Gan. Jaden Bruce Gardner. Arjun Garg. Nicholas Dion Graham. Maggie Guliashvili. Jason Amit Gupta. Vishal Gupta. Robert Matthew Guthrie, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics. Kyuse Ham. Ryan Chase Hammonds. Zachary Douglas Hancock. Taylor J. Hardy. Akshay Hariani. Chase Martin Harland. Michael David Hartle. Fuad Haspan. Michael Luke Hawkins Jr. David Joseph Hevern. Justin T. Hicks. Benjamin Isidore Hirsch. Jing Hung. William C. Shu. Andrea Chien Hu. Dun Huang. Andrew Joel Hull. Curie Im. Sarah Catherine Tucker Jacks. Paris Jagdish Jain. Bhavani Se Jaladanki. Maninder Singh Japra. Justin Donald Joe. William Alexander Johnson. William Allen Johnston Jr. Zachary Jackson Justice. Byung Gil Kung. Ellie Kung. Trevor Wayne Carr. Robert M. Keyser. Nicholas Edward Keller. Mitchell Allen Kelman. Peter Michael Kirchhoff. Tejas Korana. Hanbin Kim. Jisoo Kim. Sado Samuel Kim. Sahi Kim. Vagdevi Kondeti. Dana Elise Kautsky. Clayton Chester Kusera. Vivian Van Lay. Hyungjin Lee, Thomas Hyungduk Lee, Brandon Jared Levester, Jack Ziran Lee, Eric S. Lin, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics, Shizhe Ling, Victor Yuan Lin, Connor Johnson Lindquist, Alexandra Ashlyn Link, Mitchell Scott Manguno, Mashal Manan, Samuel Philip Martyr, Rachel Kathleen Martin, Anna Gustava Maccabee, Aaron Reed McAnally, Graham Scott Miles, Jack Orion Mueller, Batalga Mayagmarjav, Shri Rajiv Nadkarni, Jatin Nanda, Evan Garth Neenan, Julia Sander Newman, Lucas McCain Newman, Kelsey Hannah Kagiyama Newton, T. Kan Wen, Justin Drew Nieto, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Discrete Mathematics, James Peter Nugent, Daniel German Okano, Jerry Oy, Adil Hanif Omar, Decker J. Onkin, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, William Brock Overcash, Craig Michael Owenby, Lauren Taylor Palmore, Josiah David Palusky, Chintan Parekh, James Jonghan Park, Ami R. Patel, Maharshi N. Patel, Krista Dorothy Peet, Naveen Pereira, Alexander Perez, Zachary Troy Peterson, Catherine Pham, Makoto Raku, Amritha Ram, Karthik Rao, Vishak Ravi, Ritika R. Ravichandra, Connor Lucas Reeder, Jay Reynolds, Matthew Larson Schmidt, Colin Andrew Richards, Javier Yvonne Rodriguez, Thomas Hay Rogers, Nicholas Kevin Ryan, Joseph Arthur Sadler, Mohammed Osama Saki, Iris Kelly Skulton, Naman Shah, Qian Shao, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Daniel Shen, Ashay Chef, Weihang She, Xinmin She, Kenny Shu, Sonali Singh, Vignesh Sivashanmugam, Tyler Mitchell Smith, Tanmay Salanki, Shrijan Sood, Caleb Jake Stokels, Wendy Tang, Nicholas Paul Teisler, John Eric Thomas Jr., Zion Michael Thomas, Justin Michael Thornburg, O. John Richard Mighton Thornycroft, Pranathi Reddy Tupakula, Brandy Michelle Vandehooten, John Philip Varela, Karen Vora, Pranil Parag Vora, Joshua James Vorick, Angela Vladimir Vujik, Jefferson Y. Wang, Shotaro Watanabe, Mitchell Andrew Webster,
Cayman Nikolaev Testavka,
Tyler M. Whitfield, Jacob Wesley Williams, Louis Austin Williams, Benjamin Ray Wilson, Brooks Victoria Withrow, Sofanit Mingastu Wodajo, Ivan Jun Wayne Wong, Wen Xin, Xiaohui Xu, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Discrete Mathematics, Jacob Andrew Yamaki, Wenduo Yang, Jantin Yap, Sum Lak Yu, Yuan Xiaoyu, Jianming Zheng, Xin Zhang, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering, Christian Georgiev Zelaskov, Alan Jiehua Zhang, Jacqueline Xiaohui Zhu,
Associate Dean of Academic Affairs and Outreach, Michelle Reinhardt, will present the undergraduate candidates for the degrees in the College of Design.
Candidates for the Bachelor of Science degrees in the College of Design, please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, these are the graduates who will shape our future world and our human experiences for years to come. And I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for the Bachelor of Science degrees who have completed the requirement for this degree.
From the College of Design, Bachelor of Science in Architecture, Bangsi To Akuchu, Thomas Akira Antonacci, James Cameron Bradbury, John Edward Carlisle, Anna Chiara Frost, Rebecca Wilkes Fuller, Anthony Luis Gavan, James Colin Garnett, Jacob Michael Griffith, Soraya Maria Haspin Zamora, Anna Marie Jenkins, Ashlyn Ray Jones, Helen Majors Marin, Catherine Elizabeth Martin, James Clifford Morse, Takuto Sean Osawa, Timothy Watson Peterson, Devin Jaron Sparkman, John Carl Stenzel, Joshua T. Stevens, Deja Moni Suggs, Sarah Douglas Tropper, Trevor Carlson Vanucci, Mengyang Wang, Bachelor of Science in Industrial Design, Wengalawit Melaku Alamayu, Nicole Page Assini, Ellen Rebecca Birchie,
Nick Bitsis,
Julia Morgan Brooks, Florence Maria Kamek, Hoi Lei Holly Chan, Eleanor May Cheen, Daniel Alexander Ciccinelli, Israel Del Toro, Louise Elizabeth Gocher, Samuel Richard Harvey, Alexander Stewart Hochfelder, David Edward Howard, Nora Wyndham Johnson, Chantal Renee Lapointe, Natalie Diane Larkins, Jane Elizabeth Neiswander, Diego Fabian Perez Gomez, Ariane Guerrero Quinanola, Kiara Ruyu, Caitlin Maseko Schumacher, Tung Hung Tsai, Maria Fernanda Wong Sala, Veronica Marie Young,
Dean Paul Goldbart will present the undergraduate candidates for degrees in the College of Sciences.
Candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree in the College of Sciences, please rise and remain standing. The members of the College of Sciences community are proud of you, our bold explorers who will continue to create new knowledge to help drive forward the technology, computing, and medicine of tomorrow, but also simply to lift the human spirit to new heights. Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree who have completed the requirements for this degree.
From the College of Sciences, Bachelor of Science in Discrete Mathematics, William Charles Agnew, Jiun Sung, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Atmospheric Sciences, Matthew Alexander Barr, Stephen Gessler, Morgan Sage Camerlin, Sonia Olivia Mohammed, Brian Andrew Sherman, Chloe Lane Stanton, Bachelor of Science in Biology, Lavanya Atri. Parastu Baradaran Mashinchi, Shreya R. Brochia, Alexa Jordan Brightman, Lillian Chen, Esther Cheun Cho, Julie Carol Chow, Dan Moshe Cohen Solal, Jonathan Stephen Cook, Eric Charles Irwood, Morgan Eliana Gaines, Hector Javier Garcia Navas, Catherine Elizabeth Gordon, Abhishek Ketan Goswami, Claire Elise Hansen, Victoria Grace Herdman,
Bradley Homza,
Ashwin Michael John, Haley Taylor Keedy, Anna Michelle Krikorian, Morgan Cooper Lamarca, Christopher Taehee Lee, Holden Blaine Lee, Jean Sol Lee, Drake Alexis Orion Lee Patterson, Catherine Alexandra Mader, Hannah R. Marks, Elisa Noel Mercando, June Young Moon, Casey Catherine Moore, Jennifer Rachel Morris, Aldrich Maniel Palab, Patrick Daniel Petrazak, Lauren Ingrid Pitts, Kaylin Edward Radford, Emily Kathleen Reiner, Shivani Saini, Marissa Faye Savage Gibson, Savannah Lee Schneider, Vigelo Anka Severa Jr., Meredith Webb Smith, Maya Tomei, Oresume Audrey Ann Uye, Taylor Morgan Vold, Mary Elizabeth Wildner, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Psychology, Madison Ruth Young, Lauren Zainadine, Bachelor of Science in Psychology, Claire Elizabeth Body, Morgan Anna Foreman, Margaret Lee Jensen, Gabrielle Martinez, Lydia Mae Middleton, Sarah Michaela Ney, Tiffany Van E. Wen, Veronica E. Rubenstein, Skylar Reese Sigua, Catherine Louise Stevens, Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics, Xin Young Chen, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Yeguang Zhou, Haley Bryant Evans, Kavan Dalton Hayes, Adam Chesley Hester, Wak Yen Chi Huen, Kumbit L. Huang, Jason Paul Kolbish, Bing Lun Lee, John Garnier Oland Jr., Chin Shuang Wei, Also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Xinqi Zhai. Also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering,
Dean Gary May will present the undergraduate candidates for degrees in the College of Engineering. As many of you know, today marks, I guess, the next to last graduation ceremony for Dean Gary May here at Georgia Tech. This summer, he leaves us to become the Chancellor of the University of California, Davis. Join me in wishing Gary the very best and thanking him for his service.
Candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree in the College of Engineering, please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, for the final time, I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree from the largest, most diverse, most lit, and greatest College of Engineering in the country. Those who have completed the requirements for this degree.
From the College of Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Environmental Engineering, Rebecca Marie Benfield. Micah A. Bidwell. Grace Elizabeth Brosovsky. Trishna Dilip Chandarana. Edwin John Durnar. Ariana Rezende Evans. Hao Fu, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Hannah Danielle Greenwald. Griffin Patrick Hannekamp. Taryn Elise Heidel. Casey N. Henneman. Brandon Laird Huggins. Anthony Kyle Leach. Laura Elizabeth McGahey.
Sam Pak.
Kayla Janae Townsend. Carrie Ying Yamamoto. Jennifer Marie Young. Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Engineering, Samantha Marie Acevedo. Sofia I. Alonso. Nicholas Alberto Arce. Benjamin Keith Ashby. Jessica Alina Banuelos. Cameron Dennis Bernhardt. Roshan Rajiv Bhav. Shruti Berry. Adriana Alexandra Bodlak. Andrea Botero Aristizabal. Cara Noel Boucher. Brittany Marie Bowers. Connor James Boyle. Alexis Marie Brazier. Brandon M. Bumbaga. Jacob McMahon Burr. Carolina Caicedo. Savannah Cassidy Carlson. Han Sol Chang.
Minika Chahudri.
Chukwu Mary J. Uzoma Chuma Okere. Spencer William Cooper. Laura Danielle Cox. Mackenzie Taylor Dahlbeck. Nika Danays. Hardika Deer. Howley Du, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. Ryan Michael Dunn. Catherine Ann Edwards. John Christopher Eng. William Milne Ewing III. Sienna Lorraine Ferdin. Erin Grace Fitzpatrick. Amy Lynn Furch. Ashley Lauren Foltz. Vina Girija Ganapithi. Eve O'Connor George. Shohini Kalyani Ghosh Chudari. John Tomlis Giblin. Joanna Marks Gochico. Ana Cecilia Gomez del Campo. Samantha Elizabeth Gray. Braden Michael Green. Eric Palmer Griggs. Jeremy Robert Gurra. Rachel Catherine Haggerty. Hartley Elizabeth Hamilton. Cara Camille Hardin. John Patrick Hatch. Morgan Lindsay Hinchy. Anella Kamzik Holdaway. Megan Lee Hollowell. Vidisha Vinayak Holsambre. Brandon Alexander Holt. Colin Michael Huber. Muhammad Saeed Islam. Alyssa Beth Jackson. Amber Nicole Jackson. Navjot Kaur Japra. Madeline Clark Jamie. Elizabeth Ruth Pear Johnson. Caitlin Joe Jones. Darian Robert Keller. Sahil Ankur Kamkar. Akram M. Kaja. Brian Seung-Yoon Kim. Chan Soo Kim.
Sue Kim.
Troy Justin Kleber. Amanda Licky Klinker. Alexander Arlen Kral. Zachary Ryan Krekeler. Alvin Lauhapan. Jacqueline Adelaide LaRouche. Matthew Sean Lawler. In Young Lee. Jerry Lin. Jonathan L. Lin. Miranda Claire Ludovis. Sarah Carolyn Lyons. Hung Kwok Mak. Joyce Mannon McGill. Corey James Marple. Elizabeth Ellen Marr. Catherine Michelle Martin. Samantha Lee Martin. Elsa V. Matthew. Edicula S. Matthew. Abhinav Mehra. Benjamin Isaac Mertens. David Sanchez Messina. Nima Mikhail. Aida Mande Mukubi. Jesus Roman Munoz. Juan Camilo Navarrete. Nathan Reed Newhart. Diane Wen. Cray Villaflor Noah. Heather Kathleen Noyes. Oluwamayokun Toluwalase Oshinowo. Daniel Pardo. Dara Hemant Patel, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Applied Languages and Intercultural Studies. Kanchi Patel. Parth Piyushkant Patel. Emily Applewhite Peak. Neil Akash Pandyala. Jorge Enrique Perdomo. Christopher O'Connor Pham. Newton Fan. Sarah Elizabeth Philpott. Kishan Jatin Pithadia. Emma Michi Poyamagata. Emily Elizabeth Poole. Sindhu Pulsuri. Tyler Andrew Register. Annika Reza. Christopher Duncan Roberts. Numera H. Satwani. Paloma Damaris Sanchez. James Michael Savage. Durazi Savasher, Jr. Christopher Seiji Schenk. Mitchell Warren C. Catherine Elizabeth Siegel. Kunal Chaitanya Shaw. Patrick Parviz Shambayati. Xiaoshan. Alina Leanne Sim. Anna Gorman Smart. Daisy Victoria Smith. Connor James Sophia. Emily Hope Ann Solon. Catherine Marie Sorrentino. Hunter Robert Strauss. Megan Noreen Stiles. Stephen Su. Liang Yu Tao. Ovia Tanigabilan. Sangeeta Teguthasan. Kelsey Amy Chen. Abinia Uthayakumar. Paul David Van Ryzen. Nicolas Villaroel. Danushka Sanchiti Vitharana. Shimang Wang. Yuyang Wang. Garrett Moyer Whitfield. Wanjun Wu. Jihan Ye. Connor Ryan Yi. Jiwan Yang. Irsham Zaman. Jennifer Jalin Zhang. Yiran Zhao. Bachelor of Science in Materials Science and Engineering. Jonathan Isaac Baldwin. Mackenzie Catherine Bolton. Kelly Mason Brantley. Kinsey L. Canova. Randy Cheng. James Merlin Christopher. Ashley C. Counselor. Michael Andrew Davidson. Stephen Robert Del Sordo, Onyeka Chioma Dimpa, Francine Ajizu, Kevin Cayenne Fan, Erin Marie Flynn, John Woods Golden, Sean Allen Gregory, Jinho Ha, Ashley Lauren Hall, Aijia Han, Juan Pablo Irrita Bernaza, Nathan Pataki James, Nicole Josiane Janet Kennard, William J. Kennedy, Bilal Muhammad Khan, Wei Hung Lam, Christopher Samuel Lowe, Kevin Ryan Lowe, Patrick Michael McGannon, Graham Barnes Mellon, Kelsey Marie Novak, Candace Kealani Ogata, Paige Jordan Orangio, Hirsch Patel, Pontus Pirano Jr., Hunter Sherman Ray, Tyler Elizabeth Rice, Joseph Patrick Reardon, Jadzia Danielle Rivera, Zachary Forrest Robbins, Mary Catherine Robish, Marco Scaglia, Andrew Victor Sisung, Chelsea Lauren Sizemore, Kevin Michael Smith, Annie Ji Young Song, Brian Andrew Vakiner, Nicholas Franz Watson, Yun Tong Zhu, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering. Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering, Grant Raymond Asin, Divya Aktani, Sihom Salahaddin Adus, Aaron An, Elise Angelica Alfonso, Michael David Alstead, Ashe Harshad Anaukar, Nicholas Alexander Anderson, Edward Arribas Plata, Umera Aslan, Maria Dolores Oslander, Andrew Stephen Bassett, Michael Edward Bauman, Ryan Christopher Beard, Mitchell Lee Beeland, Jason Doyle Bermudez,
Marie Elizabeth Bartels,
William Russell Alexander Berry, Victoria Bettarello Bertasoli, DeBargo Bendari, Ram Bhutani, Brian Alexander Bloom, Julia Serena Bodea, Leland Avery Bond, Juan Jose Borjas, Joseph John Brett, Eric William Brower, Richard Marshall Bryant, Taryn Alyssa Bergen, Cassidy Jordan Burton,
and now
Harrison Keller Butker, Eric Yehun Byun. Margaret Irene Calvin. Jennifer Castillo. Clarissa Elaine Chan. Natalie Ann Charpentier. Jackie Chang. Anmal Naresh Chabria. Christy Ann Cho. Bhavna Chaudhary. Brandon Duffield Clark. Cody Allen Copenhaver. August J. Kramer. Stephen Jackson Crawford. Samuel Aaron Kurtzinger. Megan Kathleen Dahm, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Applied Languages and Intercultural Studies. Miles Christopher Deyu. Ricardo Vittorio de Andrade. Danish Taharali Danani. Megan Cook Emery. Isabel Cristina Escofri Arias. James Riley Etheridge. Matthew Thomas Faulkner. Shannon Caswell Feltz. Yu Fang. Christopher Andre Farrendell. Aaron Jeffrey Fisher. Ryan Kelly Fitzgerald. Dylan Michael Floyd. Holland Fitzpatrick Frost. Titilayo Joy Funso. Calvin Laron Gadsden. Matthew Samuel Gillette. Harshal Goyal. Chen Chen Gong. Ernesto Antonio Gonzalez de la Guardia. David Alexander Graby. Cortland Michael Granish. Andrew Scott Greiner. Sean Austin Gressley. Gabriella Rebecca Griffith. Lian Yan Gu. John M. Haygood. Courtney Danielle Hall. Sean Michael Hardy. Tio Harrison. Rayan Kaizad Hirji. Annie Julia Hendrickson. Zachary Michael Shu. Amanda Hui. Wesley Ross Hunter. Daniel Joseph Hyman. Gerardo Interiano Rubio. Zukar Nain Islam. Morgan Elizabeth Jackson. Vikrant Jain. Milton Leonard James Jr. Xiaojin Jin. Joel Joseph. Travis Blake Joyce. Jae Hoon Jung. Usman Kaba. Max Elliott Kaltman. Alexander Michael Karras. Jasmine Kaur Klar. Allison Lynn Kosick. Joshua Akira Kulas. Sarp Kuram. Stephen Lewis Lance. Gun Hee Lee. Alexander Patrick Lencher. Jean Lee. Alden Reed MacArthur. Scott Thomas Marburger. Rebecca Ann Martin. Tyler Sean Martin. Sarah Catherine Mask. John Alexander Maddle. Jenna Lee McConico. Joan Ruth McLaren. Rohan Medhekar. Clark Meng. Rushta Momin. Sanya Zara Raishali Momin. Sean Dana Monahan. Jung-Un Moon. Alexander Antonio Moran, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Robert Michael Moss. Demianne Marie Mott. Segulen Nuderha. Vishal Vinay Kumar Momagati. Zeba Shafiq Munshi. Craig Stephen Murphy Jr. Derek Stephen Naladka. Christel Nare. Parthiv Naresh. Stacy W. Induati. Thomas Robbins Newton. Christopher Arnold Norjady. Gemma O'Connor. Savannah Durrance O'Connor. Matthew Thomas O'Reilly. Connor Christopher Owen. Sumil Uday Parekh. Harsh Dinesh Patel. Leah Jean Patterson. Caroline Elizabeth Paulson. Benjamin Russell Pease. Supapat Petlerquang. Gaurav Malind Thadki, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Economics. Jennifer Dow Pham. Ludmila Couto Pimenta. Shelby Lynn Pinholster. Coleman Richard Pojay. Jessica Marie Pop. Jameson Lee Porter. Vishnu Kumar Premsankar. Austin Thomas Proctor, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Economics. Daniel Patrick Radke. Aditya Kaushik Ragapathy. Arshia Rajan. Kiran Rampersad. William Driver Rasmussen. Rohit Ravi Narayan. Evan Patrick Reed. Miguel Bernardo Reder. Brianne Alina Robertson. Jose A. Rodriguez Copeland. Ryan Bruce Rodwell. Gabrielle Adina Rosen. Ethan Moore Rozier. Tatiana Maria Ruiz Lopez. Pragya Sabu. James Allen Sanders Jr. Shrita Sirogi. Neha Saxena. Kristen Michelle Schaff. Aditya Narav Shah. Yashvi Bhavesh Shah. Rebecca Ann Sharp. Rucha Sunil Shrothria. Pamela Nicole Schwery. Gray Rawls Skelton. Emily Ann Smith. Christopher John Sokol. Ananth Abhishek Samasundaram. Carson Joseph Sowell. Kelsey Ruth Stanton. Joseph Allen Stapleton. James Spencer Stockton. Joylyn Adriana Stroud. Kai Zhao Sun, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Discrete Mathematics, Michael Christopher Tarbell. Patrick Nicholas Terry. Taylor Lauren Thomas. Rachel Elaine Thorne. Alvin John Tite IV. Nimish Todi, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Juan Ignacio Tobar. Diem Chao Tran. Philip James Trandell. Xiaoyu Salomon Weisberg. Divya Vidula. Philip Michael Vitrano. Kimberly Lei Vu. Sabrina Lynn Wald. Amy Da-Yuan Wang. Xinyi Wang. Jennifer Danielle Weiss. Mario Wijaya. Austin Alexander Wright. Mu-Chen Wu. Henry Bangguo Shu. Jinghua Yang. Yi Yao. Meredith Hayes Yarbrough. Zola Aline Zaleski. Angie Zhang. Jiayao Zhang. Jiali Zhao. Yanyang Zhao. Yan Xin Jiang. Bachelor of Science in Aerospace Engineering, Sukara Abe. Devansh Agarwal. Luke James Alexander. David Connor Allman. Joaquin A. Alvarez Valdivia. John Asghar Amin. Nachanan Tandan Amore. Sean Matthew Andresen.
Here we go.
Gerard William Bennett. Jonathan Dane Bishop. Aaron Michael Blacker. Benjamin Biber Calloway. Christopher Blake Como. Richard H. Craig III. Ishan Jitendra Desai. Nicholas Tate Domansky. Karina Nicole Draghi. Nathan Thomas Dunham. Allie Erkton. Andrew James Fallon. Daniel Stephen Fowle, Jr. Evan Terry Fredrickson. Adrian Garcia. Victor Emilio Garcia. Christine Alice Jabara. Matthew Lane Gilmartin. James Todd Gloyd. Jeffrey Michael Gordon. Paul Hayward Greer, Jr. Daniel Stewart Grosbeck. Nelson Giovanni Guecha Ahumada. Joel Hugo Gutierrez III. David Tarek Habashi. Stephen John Haley. Robert Daniel Haney. Christopher Allen Harkins. Sabrina Ann Herman. Gregory Price Hetherington. Tyler James Hocutt. Andrew Robert McCarthy Heft. Mitchell Edmund Hotop. Zuja Huang. Lorenzo Jara de Carvalho Valle de Almeida. Bradley Nathaniel Jenkins. Sungmook Jang. Chetna Chand Kewalramani. Nam Yoon Kim, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Applied Languages and Intercultural Studies. Sung Min Kim. Eric DiRenzo Koob. Christopher Curtis Croft. Matthew J. Crumweedy. Michelle Koo. Kaylee Elise Lane. Dongja Lee. Avery William Leonard. Jay Lim. Madison Lynn Luther. Terry Hai-sun Ma. Julia Christie Macon. Eugene Mangorte. Benjamin Anthony Menipadam. Alexander Alexandrov Markov. Chase Robert McCardle. John Garrett McDaniel. Christopher Shane McInvale. Cameron Briggs McMillan. Jackson Clayton Merkel. Stephen Wade Mileto. Jagadish Mova. Alexander Michael Neighbor. Nicholas Robert Newmeyer. Thwidon Ingok Ingo. Ulises Eduardo Núñez Garzón. William Hillary O'Donohue Jr. Zachary McDaniel Owen. Dina Papadakis. Kush Rajendra Patel. David Bruce Payne, Jr. Christopher Richard Peterson. Sebastian Quimby. Rachel Elizabeth Reagan. Thomas Herschel Rainey. Noel Niven Raja. Eleanor Marie Rakowski. Joseph Nathaniel Robinson. Jose Andres Rodriguez Hurtado. Eric Eduardo Rodriguez Mata. Christopher Lawrence Rollins. Lauren Rothman. Jonathan Harold Sanger. Vishnu Saravanan. Pamir Sevenchel. Siddhant Shital Shah. Kevin Sander Sloan. Cade McNeil Smith. Max Daniel Rayner Sokolic. Samuel Leo Spangers. Teresa Marie Spinelli. Alexander Dean Stair. Michael Edward Stevens. Eric Thomas Stoker Spurt. Karan Kumar Kamlesh Kumar Sutaria. Salah Tarasi. Laura Jean Thompson. William Harvey Thriat. David Jerome Twyble. Andrew Scott Varwig. Angelina Valerie Walters. Brittany Marie Walters. Ji Wang. Matthew Michael Warren. Ian Patrick Watkins. Lansing Paul Way. Jacqueline Ann Williams. Daniel Austin Wise. Tyler Daniel Wolf. Lawrence Roger Wolfus. Nicholas Aaron Zerbonia. Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. Kamaria Esmail Abdella. James Reed Baker Jr. Mark Denzel Balbuena Belongelo. Lucas Patton Bennett. Tyler Jean Bishop. Will Benjamin Brazel. Brandon Scott Byers. Hung Han Chang. Nicholas Posada Chiari. Alvaro Jose Concha. Casey Shea Connolly. Brianna Lynn Covington. Aaron Rashad Daniel. Andrew Jamal Davis. Jasmine Taylor Denizard. Sean Lawrence Donovan. Nicholas Watson Dufresne, Brianna Elizabeth Eck, Hunter David Evans, Arkeem Rashad Frazier, Nahila Imani Gillis, Jake Brandon Godwin, Lucas Charles Hannon, Chandler Marie Herring, Hannah Reed Harrington, Hannah Marie Heyerdahl, Shang Ho, Jordan Chavis Hunt, Brian Steve Jackson Jr., William Robert Jackson, Cody Crawford Jorstad, Tanisha Samoan Kittrell, MG Sithu Kyaw, Cameron Adams Lowe, Lauren Daniel Mays, Thomas Joseph Mahoney IV, Christopher Richard Mancini, Anya K. Mangan, Colton K. Manning, Matthew Aubrey Miller, Paula Maria Moncada, Stephen Allen Montgomery, Laura Ann Murphy, Laura Rose O'Connell, Jackson Darden Orr, Valeria Alejandra Palacios, Dominic Henry Petrello, Hector Ivan Prieto, Joel David Prock, also receiving a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Engineering, Conrad Enrique Quinones, Timothy Luke Reeve, Amelia Lee Rogers, Suraj Ramnik Sangani, Krishan Singh, Karina Rebecca Slater, Morris Scott Smith, John Lee Spence V, Brian Andrew Stanfield, Zachary Lewis Stone, Clay Dutton Sublet, Jason Kahe Tan, Victor Phuc Tran, Diana Alexandra Trifoy, Brittany Michelle Tyson, Adrian Elizabeth Warren, Nolan Cade Williams, Scott Christopher Willis, Robert P. Wilson, Jordan M. Wolder, Chin Young Wang, David Eric Woodson, Kanyen Wu, Ming Yang, Samira Berhi Yefter, Rebecca Lee Yu, Alexander Stephen Zicker, Nikhil Ronald Howlett, Tristan Quinn Hackman, Minshuo Lee, Alan Wei Guan,
Sarah Bush, Thomas Hinderlong, Esther Max,
Andreina Castillo Ojea.
Will all the graduates please rise? Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Georgia Institute of Technology and by the authority of the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Graduates, to symbolize this achievement, you may now move the tassel on your mortarboard from the right to the left. Congratulations. Congratulations. Almost there, hang with me. At this time, I'd like to introduce Major John Meister, Army ROTC, to recognize those graduates who are commissioned to serve in the U.S. Armed Forces.
Appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today I have the privilege of honoring a special group of students in the graduating class of 2017. Will the graduates of the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps ROTC programs please stand and be recognized. Mr. President, in addition to their academic degrees, these students completed a rigorous program focusing on physical conditioning, academics, and leadership to become commissioned officers in the United States Armed Forces. For their outstanding accomplishments and patriotism, please show your appreciation and congratulate these graduates.
Thank you, Major, and thank you for your service. You know, Georgia Tech alumni are an extraordinary group of high achievers. To welcome the members of this graduating class into the Fellowship of Tech, I'm pleased to introduce Ms. Andrea LaLiberte, classes of 1982 and 1984 and chair of the Georgia Tech Alumni Association.
You've shaken enough today. It is my honor to congratulate you on receiving your degree and to welcome you to the Georgia Tech Alumni Association. And I will say, since I heard Allie's reflection, she is correct. This will not be the only time you hear from us. The mission of the Alumni Association is simple: to keep you connected with each other, new students, and the Institute, and to advance the Institute through Roll Call, our annual fund. I stand before you wearing the same gown I wore 35 years ago when I received my bachelor's degree. Yeah. Who knew I would ever have the opportunity to wear it again? Well, I guess it was my mother, because she kept it in a closet for 25 years until they were downsizing, and she put it in a box and sent it to me. While I could have chosen to wear nicer regalia, this gown reminds me of the education I received and the pride I take in being a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket. When I think back to my graduation day, it was hot, and my family had traveled from Massachusetts to celebrate with me. After that day, my focus quickly changed from studying and going to class to career and living my life. I was in Atlanta for a few years after graduation, so I went to some football games, and I have contributed to roll call on a fairly consistent basis. But I didn't do much else tech-related. However, my Georgia Tech degrees and education opened many doors for me in the years that followed and well prepared me for success. My first job after earning my master's degree was with a 50-person consulting firm. For much of that time, I was the only woman consultant. However, my Georgia Tech degrees gave me credibility with the other consultants and with our clients. It also helped that all of the co-founders had connections with Georgia Tech. From there, I went to work in the fashion retail industry. I was one of the few engineers in the entire company. Once again, my industrial engineering degrees from the #1 school in the country gave me credibility. Yeah. So thank you, Georgia Tech. It wasn't until my 25th reunion neared that I reconnected with Tech and its vast alumni network. I'd achieved a level of career success I had never imagined, and I knew my Georgia Tech education had helped me greatly. So it was time for me to recognize this through my giving to Tech. Since then, I've become an active participant in the Alumni Association programs. I serve on advisory boards, and I've even come back to campus as a professor of the practice. What stands out for me are all the amazing alumni, faculty, staff, and students I have met. They are passionate and care about Georgia Tech, its students, and its alumni. There truly is a Georgia Tech family. And like any family, you can decide how involved you want to be. My regret is I did not reconnect sooner. How many of you have been or are a member, were a member of the Student Alumni Association? Yeah, that is great. Stay with that. Stay connected with the Alumni Association. Become a mentor. Go to a local network event. Update your profile. Now, if you weren't a member, it's okay. We still want you to connect with us. There is an alumni network of over 150,000 people waiting to welcome you to the Georgia Tech family. One way to stay connected as an alumni is to participate in roll call. I know it can be difficult financially as you're starting your career, so for your first year, your Alumni Association has made a $25 donation in each of your names. Consider this the start of your giving habit to Georgia Tech. So I have one piece of advice to give. Being an engineer, I love equations, so let me share with you my equation for success. For me, there are 3 key components: ability, opportunity, and desire. Since you're graduating from Georgia Tech, you certainly have ability and you know how to learn for in the future. Companies want to hire Georgia Tech graduates, so there is and will be opportunity. You can have ability and be given opportunity, but if you don't have the desire or the passion for the job, you will not be as successful as you could be. So find and follow your passion. It may take some time, so be patient. Combined, these 3 components will maximize your success. You are now a member of the Georgia Tech Alumni Network, and your achievements now and in the future will help this institute secure bright and diverse students, faculty, and global recognition as one of the best universities to attend. Be proud that you are a part of this legacy. I know I am. Once again, congratulations to this year's graduating class. Welcome to the alumni family, and go Jackets!
Thank you. We appreciate that, Andrea. Thank you very much. In closing, I'd like to express my appreciation to Karen Head for announcing the graduates' names, and a special thanks to President Varela for his address. At this time, sympathetic vibrations will lead us in the alma mater, followed immediately by the faculty recessional. The graduates and audience are requested to remain standing as the platform party recesses. Then, I invite all of you to join us in the singing of the best-known fight song in America, The Rambling Wreck from Georgia Tech. For our newest Georgia Tech graduates, we have a special treat. As you exit McCamish Pavilion, immediately after the ceremony, the whistle will blow several times in your honor. Thank you for attending this morning and have a great day. Congratulations to our graduates.
Oh, we of Tech arise, behold, the banner as it reigns supreme. For from on high the white and gold waves in its triumphant gleam. The spirit of the cheering throng resounds with joy, revealing our neighborhood in praise and song in memory of the days gone by. O Scion of the Southland, in our hearts you shall forever fly.